Hello and welcome to Cottoning On. My name's Lorna, welcome to my YouTube channel Cottoning On. Today's episode of the podcast is going to be a summer project planning video. As some of you might know, that I'm a teacher and we get quite long summer break here. We get about 6 weeks, 5.5 weeks. Now is the time to do some project planning. So I mentioned in the last proper episode of the podcast that I was feeling inspired after sock week, and I have found that I've had lots of ideas. So I feel like today is the first day of the holiday. I've got big hair because it's humid but I feel like it's a really good sorting day. It's not very sunny outside, so now would be a good time to sort out some projects. So I'm going to start off with some dressmaking. Dressmaking and fabric is basically a little bit chaotic at the moment. I feel like I've got piles. I'm kind of weighing my area that I sew. I've got piles down there of fabric that I've had plans for ages, but just haven't. I've thought of a plan but then haven't really done anything about it. So maybe, I don't know, why not? Perhaps I need to think about that. But I definitely want to cut something out today and then make a couple more additional plans of things that I definitely want to try and do while I've got this time. So that's my dressmaking plans. So let's have a look at a few bits of fabric and see what we think. I have done the cutting out that I said I was going to do. This is the My Sotis dress, and here I've cut out all the pieces that have pattern pieces, and these bits here, these are some extra bits that I've cut out to make waist ties because I felt that was missing in the last one that I made. So I've finally cut that out like I've been saying I was going to on the podcast each week, and that is a pile of scraps. So this is a larger piece. I'm not sure what I could do with it, but that's a larger intact piece, and then these are all kind of offcuts that I can use for testing sewing machine things, or they could become pocket facings in something else. So all that is done. There's my foot. It's quite a muggy day today here. This is where I've been cutting out. I've got this viscose that I bought from the rag market about 5 years ago, but where I've overlocked it to go in the washer, it's kind of come away from the edge, so I'm not sure if I actually want to make a real garment with it. So what I want to do is underneath here, the paper bits, that is the Indigo dress by Tilly and the Buttons. So if I can be bothered, because it's a bit hot for cutting out, I might cut the bodice out of this. My gut, I haven't really looked at it yet, but my gut is that I'm going to need to lower the dart and probably lengthen the bodice. I don't like the smock look. But that's here, that's sitting here waiting for a toile when I feel like cutting something else out. So on here we have my sweatshirt that I've started to make. I've attached the sleeves to the bodice, and I've also got the Emma dress that I cut out, let's be honest, months ago. I think the plan dressmaking wise is to finish this sweatshirt and then come back to the Emma dress once the weather turns cooler again and try and focus on doing more summery things. I've also got this blue viscose here, but I haven't quite decided what to make with that yet. So the priority really is going to be to do this and then get on with the My Sotis dress that I've just cut out. I've also found this viscose, which is looking kind of purpley, but it's more of a purple toned grey viscose that I've been planning to make carry trousers out of for about 5 years. So I feel like this is the summer that these need to get done. They're not going to be cut out today, but I feel like now is their time. I may even attempt to batch sew and use this viscose for another pair of carry trousers. This is, you can see the wrong side here, but clear those two while I'm cutting out, do them both at the same time perhaps. Haven't decided yet. I've also left here on the sofa my dahlia blanket. The colours, oh look at them, lovely. But I've kind of got bogged down in the oranges and I want to get onto these pinks, so I've left this somewhere with my crochet hook to encourage me to pick it up and crack on with it. I did half a row last night, but the rows feel very long again, so that's here waiting for me. So those are my dressmaking plans. So let's have a think about yarn. You've already seen that my dahlia blanket is still ongoing. So let's have a look at what I've already got, what I'm planning to work on so far, and let's get some yarn out and have a think about what I'd like to do. Okay, so I have gone down to find my yarn so far. So things that I'm working on and immediate plans. I have finished my first Daphne sock since I last recorded a video. So ideally this week I want to make the second sock. I did make some modifications to the pattern of this, which is by Twin Stitches Designs, and I put all those on Ravelry if you use that. So ideally I want to finish that first. Then I started an experiment that was a fail. I started knitting, it looks lovely like here. I started knitting an all the frills sock using the leftovers from my sock week pair, but once I get these on, the frill disappears because I've made the ribbon too small. These are only a pair of shorties, so this is something that I'm not massively bothered about straight away, but they're an experiment that I'm trying at the moment because I've got a couple of 50-gram balls. So those are things that are kind of ongoing that I haven't started yet. One of the things that I would like to start is this beauty school top by Poison Girls. And I've got this already caked up, so I've got my big cake and then I've got two smaller cakes because I'm going to have to alternate skeins. I've got that in here in my float tote. I haven't started this at all, so I'm thinking, I know that I'm not going to get this finished, but it's something to start. It's more of a, I think it's going to be a transitional thing. It's not really a top to wear in the depth of winter, so I feel like I need to kind of get on with that, especially because the yarn is caked up already. So those are things that are to hand. The jumper, a pair of shorties and an extra sock that I've got already to hand. So now I think it's time to get out my yarn that's in storage boxes and have a think about what can I realistically achieve while I'm off. Okay, I think I'm being incredibly ambitious here. So I've already got my blanket, which is over there, and the dressmaking projects. I've got the full sock, the shorty socks and this jumper. So I have got two skeins of DK weight sock yarn, and I've also got this left over. This was Woolly Mama Samba yarn, DK weight sock yarn that is just waiting for me to use. So what I might try and do is I might swatch this and then attempt to adapt my perfect fit formula to DK weight. So I think I'm going to try 3.25mm needles. I don't know what that is in US money, I'm afraid. So I'm going to try swatching that and seeing what I get. So that's one thing to do. Then I also want to try and make the scattered pearl socks by Summer Lee Designs. I have attempted to adapt that pattern to match my perfect fit 4-ply pattern in 75-25 weight yarn. So I've basically got two choices. The simple choice would be to use this Moonglow sock set, which is the Loving Stitches exclusive with a mini and a full skein. This is 75-25. So I could use that. The scattered pearl design is basically stockinette and then it's got the occasional pearl stitching to create a texture rather than colour work. So I could use that because that would match exactly my pattern. and my gauge and all of that I've done before. Or I could use this, which is really similar to the colour that is used in the pattern pictures. This is the colour Hawthorn, no it's not. This is Hawthorn fingering weight kettle dye yarn in the colour Nymph from Knit Picks. Now this is actually an 80-20 blend, and it feels squishier than the Moonglow. But you see now, I just compared this to another 75-25 yarn that I have to see, is it going to be a massive difference? I think there is a slight difference. I think this green is slightly plumper. So, like I say, easy option, what I had in mind for it. I could swatch. I don't really want to swatch, to be honest. So I need to have a think about that, and I need to see, yeah, I need to have a think. But also I do have an aeroplane journey coming up. So basically I'm going to use one for the scattered pearl and one for a plain vanilla sock that's easy. So yeah, what do you think? I don't know. So those are two choices that I definitely want to knit this summer. Then my kind of stretch goal, if you like, is this. This is the Sweetheart sock set, also from Moonglow. So you get these minis, and then there is a white as well. I ordered this on pretty much around New Year's Day. Again, it's another 75-25 sock blend, and I bought this to go with the Sweetheart sock pattern by Nitty Natty. The reason I haven't is that I'm intimidated by colour work. So do I just be, my stretch goal is, do I just be a big brave girl and suck it up and have a go? Because, as I think I said in one of my previous videos, it's just yarn. So do I have a go? But then it was expensive by the time that I'd paid Etsy tax and Etsy shipping. So there's that. That's my stretch goal. So I'm going to put this back in the big box of yarn that you can't see down here, that I'm almost a little bit ashamed of, to be honest. I'm going to put that and have that in the back of my mind, but I would like to have a go at that. So those are my plans at the moment. So I've laid everything out on the floor. We've got the blanket, starting the jumper, the vanilla and the scattered pearl sock area, the swatch, puzzling out shorties, and the second sock. I've also got over here, which you can't see, it's just out of shot down here. There's also a brioche shawl that I want to start. That is a lot, given that I've already got one brand new dressmaking project and one to finish still to go. I think, I don't normally write a list, but I wonder if I need to write a list and kind of work out logistics, really. Right, I've got out my trusty notebook that I put on a seamstress sticker, and I've written everything down. This is everything that I've just talked about. It's a lot. It's a lot. So I've started to break it down into a plan. So this week is week 1. So this week's plan is to do the second sock, which I'd planned to do anyway. Do my DK swatch, cast on the jumper, even if it is literally just casting on. Then making the My Sotis dress and finishing that sweatshirt that I'd already got on the table. I've put that the Dahlia blanket is going to be ongoing. Then next week I've got my socks to focus on, and then I think I'd started to plan out week 4, but actually I think I'd be better off doing those things and then revisiting that when we're halfway through. So this is my list. And I'm hoping that I do struggle sometimes to get myself motivated and end up kind of just scrolling aimlessly on Instagram while I'm, particularly if I'm at home alone. So by having this plan, I'm hoping that this will keep me a bit more focused, I suppose, but not in a making it feel like work kind of way, but just in a, I've got things to do. I like to have things to do. I like to keep myself busy. And actually, if I do go and meet someone for lunch or go out for a cup of tea or something, I've got plenty of things here, not so much the blanket obviously, but I've got plenty of things here that I can take out with me if I'm waiting for someone, for example. So I feel like that is still a lot, but by breaking it down, I feel like I have a plan. And I like a good quick win, as someone in teaching always used to use that phrase. Someone who I knew a long time ago. So I feel like my quick win for today is going to be to get my sock needles out and cast on that DK swatch and see how we get on. I'm not saying I need to work out the formula today, but definitely by doing that swatch. And then I can block that when I finish my Daphne sock and have a bit of a blocking party. So I think the next step will be to wind up. I'm looking, it's all down here on the floor. So the next step will be to get my yarn Swift out, which is here, and have a yarn winding party. Luckily I've got 1, 2, 3 to wind, and then I've got a 20 gram mini, but I think it will be easiest to do that by hand. So yeah, I'm gonna have a yarn winding party. So I think I'm going to have a segment next time I do a podcast. I'll have a segment on how things are going with my summer projects. They'll all be included in the active project section anyway, but yeah, tune into the next episode, which will be episode 5. Yeah, 5, episode 5. Yeah, tune in next time to episode 5 of the podcast, and I will give you an update on how all of this is going. And you can either cheer with me if it's going well, or you can kind of have an eye roll, told you so, if it's all going not to plan. So thank you for your help today with motivating me to get out some yarn and get out some fabric and do some cutting out. Wish me luck with all of these projects. I hope everyone's well, and I will see you next time. Bye.